welcome to another weekly update. I hope you're doing well. Really busy week last week, lots of things happening. So let's jump straight into it. So the first big thing to tell you about last week, and if you listen to these weekly updates, you'll know this has been coming. Commsverse 2022, big Microsoft Teams conference here in the UK, available to everyone online as well, which was really nice. Lots and lots of great content. What's really impressive actually is the organisers that have already started uploading that content. So my first link I want to give you is a link to a YouTube playlist with all of the currently available Commsverse 2022 sessions. If you weren't available to attend, or if like me you did attend, but you didn't go to as many sessions as you wanted to because you were too busy talking to other people, then go check that out. Go check that session list out because there's some really interesting sessions in there. There's some really good stuff. Really good to see that stuff start to be uploaded already as well. It's really nice. The other thing that happened at Commsverse during the keynote was the launch of something else I want to talk about, which was a new venture from Tom Arbuthnot called Empowering.Cloud. So, disclaimer, I have an interest in this. So I was involved in the technical making of the platform and the stack behind it. And I'm also contributing content as well. So the monthly development updates I'll be doing, as well as maybe some other content as well. Anyway, this is a really nice idea. I put a link to the website. If you didn't see the keynote for Commsverse, then you can go and check out the reason this exists. And you know why it's going to be successful and the content that's available there. And it's a really exciting new thing, and I think it will be of real interest both to developers and IT pros. I don't think it will just be a tool for one or the other. I do see it as being something that is really useful for both. So that should be really good. Go check that out and sign up. It's free to sign up and start accessing the content as well, which is great. So it's open to everybody. So go sign up to that. Like I said, I'll put a link in the notes for that. So other things that are happening. So apps. Oh yeah, this is a big one actually. So apps in Microsoft Teams. So right now, there's a new thing that is coming, has just appeared, that means that you can now have apps in Microsoft Teams peer-to-peer calls. So it's what Microsoft call voice over IP calls, which is slightly odd because meetings are over voice over IP too. But I kind of know what they mean. It's where you have a call between two people or a group call, but it's not a meeting. And currently you can have in-meeting apps, but you couldn't have apps in those call experiences. You now can have apps in those call experiences. So that's pretty exciting. All of your existing meeting apps should work just fine. There is also, you can use the Get Meetings API, Get Meeting Details API to figure out if your app is running in a call or in a meeting. But this is really cool. I will be doing a blog post about this, but you're hearing about this first because I only just found out about this about an hour ago, so I haven't had a chance to write up the blog post yet. So that came kind of through last week, but we missed it because of Commsverse. Yeah, pretty exciting actually. I think this is good. It's good for rounding out the feature set of Microsoft Teams as well. It's always, you know, when new stuff arrives, by necessity, I guess, it comes to some places first and not everywhere all at once. This is one of those rounding out really nice things where, you know, you want this functionality to be everywhere that people are kind of meeting and talking and where it makes sense. So this is good to see that happening. All right, we have a change to the Microsoft 365 usage reports. So right now in Graph, there are a set of reports for getting app usage. So reporting on usage of apps in Microsoft 365. This is a beta API, and beta APIs sometimes do change and can change, and this is one of those times where they are changing. The format of the URL is changing slightly, so there's a /content in the API call. That's being dropped, and because it's a beta endpoint, it's happening pretty quickly with pretty short notice. It's happening towards the end of this month, so you've got a couple of weeks to kind of deal with it, and then those calls won't work anymore. So if you're using that beta endpoint to make calls to get information about apps in Microsoft 365, then on that reports endpoint in Graph, then you need to go and update those URLs pretty quickly. And finally, there is so we're jumping ship to Azure Communication Services for a minute, and the UI libraries. And I've talked about these UI libraries before. They're really good, actually. Really good, nice UI components that you can either use independently or together in composite components to produce a really nice voice over IP based calling experience that you can use with ACS. The UI components for mobile, so iOS and Android, have been in preview, but the announcement this week is that they are now GA. They're generally available, so you can use them in products. They're supported. You can put them in your apps and kind of upload them and use them and be confident in using them. So that's good news. What's interesting is that it's not just the core components, it also includes those composite components as well. And that's really nice because you can come up with some really fully featured experiences in the UI experiences for making, joining meetings, making calls to other ACS users, doing chat, all of those things using ACS natively in iOS and Android. You can do all that with really kind of a very few lines of code because of these composite components. If you want that fine-grained control of how your UI looks and feels, you can absolutely take those core components and dig into and change the styling of all of them, all the rest of it. But if you just want to get up and running with something really quickly, go check out those composite components because they are a really good shortcut. All right, I think that's everything from me. Going to keep it quick and tight this week because there's lots going on. I need to go and write that blog post about Teams apps in calls. Whatever it is you're doing this week, have a great one, and I will talk to you again next time.